I was in my tent alone. I heard pine cones being tossed at my tent. It was coming from the outside. Another night, I saw the front zipper being unzipped. I thought I was going to die. I yelled. Whatever it was ran off. And this was another thing that was going on during that time. There was a Bigfoot huffing at me, and that went on all night long.
This is the Cryptid Creature Show. I am Brian, and with me, as always, is my co-host Todd. What's up, buddy?
Brian, my friend, welcome back. We missed you so much, brother. How you feeling? How you doing?
Thank you. It's good to be back, man. I'm a lot better than I was, and I got a long way to go. But I want to thank everybody for the well wishes and the prayers, and any help you guys have sent along the way. I appreciate it. Apologize, I had to make you wait too long, but we're back now. So
right on, brother. You don't have to apologize.
Thank you all.
So glad that you're back, man. So glad that you're back with us, brother.
So am I.
And we got through it, and here we are. Guys, thank you for your patience in this, and I know that you guys are all grateful and happy to hear Brian's voice on our side of the microphone. So,
yeah.
Tonight's guests, we're going to have two guests tonight, and the first guest...
Oh, that's always fun.
A doubleheader, man.
Yep.
Our first guest we're going to bring on is Janice, and Janice was camping in Colorado and had basically 4 nights of some Bigfoot experiences, encounters. So we're going to bring her on and see what happened to her, and then we're going to bring on Dewayne, who saw something very strange on his way to work one morning. And we'll just leave it at that. And
okay.
So, you ready to bring Janice on and hear what happened?
Yep, let's get her. Janice, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks.
Good to see you.
Just got done grocery shopping here, so
oh, that's fun.
Put everything away.
Yeah, that's always a good time.
Did you do it when you were hungry, or did you do it after you ate?
Oh,
when I was hungry, of course.
Never grocery shop hungry. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here with us tonight.
Okay.
You had reached out to us and said that you'd had crazy few nights of camping apparently there in Colorado. Was that right?
Yeah.
Crazy is an understatement.
When
it was pretty wild.
When did this happen to you?
My Bigfoot sighting was in Colorado, August of 2018, at a campsite near Bailey, Colorado.
Okay. Well, why don't you go ahead and take us into it? I know that.
Okay.
You said you might be reading some of the story, but go right ahead.
I got some of the story.
Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, whatever you got to do.
All righty. Right. I'll keep my place here. Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bigfoot sighting in Colorado in August of 2018. Hi, I'm Janice Magnuson. I'm retired and currently live in Kennesaw, Nebraska. My Bigfoot experience happened in Bailey, Colorado, August 2018. Here's my story. I had 4 nights of Bigfoot activity while camping at Pikes National Forest. There were 10 tents pitched. My tent was on the outside of 4 tents in a row. And we were camped next to the tree line. Okay. So here's what happened. And I don't know if these are in order because there was 4 different nights of stuff going on. It is wild. I saw the silhouette of a Bigfoot walk in between my tent and my friend's tent. I became frozen in fear, sweating profusely, and my heart was pounding fast. I was in my tent alone. I heard pine cones being tossed at my tent. It was coming from the outside. I checked the next morning and I found the pine cones lying on the ground next to the backside of my tent. Lying awake on my cot, lying awake on my cot, I heard the crinkling of the bottom tarp of my tent. Another night, I saw the front zipper being unzipped. I thought I was going to die. I yelled, no, no. Whatever it was ran off. There was a Bigfoot, and this was another thing that was going on during that time. There was a Bigfoot huffing at me, and that went on all night long. that was coming. He must have been sitting down outside doing that. One night I heard running along the back side of my tent. Another night I could hear a Bigfoot pushing in on the door handle of my friend's old camper van. This continued throughout the night. Okay, so this is something that I did for gifting. I gave 6 marbles to another friend to leave for the Bigfoots. My friend could hear the rolling and crashing of the marbles in the Bigfoot's hand. The last night was the scariest of all the nights. I heard a rather large, massive Bigfoot pounding the ground as he walked. I was very much frightened, to say the least. One morning, as we sat around in our camp chairs drinking coffee, I looked down at my hiking boot and I picked up a pine cone with some needles attached. The Bigfoot had gifted me. Strange as it seems, it came out of nowhere. Later, while walking through the thick forest, I captured a picture of a Bigfoot. Actually, this picture is a Bigfooting adventure some of my friends I've got here in the magazine. That was another time, actually. It's a God's honest truth. I'm telling you all, I would never sleep in a tent alone again. There was definitely a clan of Bigfoot that visits my campsite, and we had real and close encounters with these creatures. So if you want to know what they look like, okay, I'll go in to describe it, because once you have a Bigfoot sighting like that, you can't get it out of your head. I mean, I could almost sit down and draw it. The first one looked like an ape. Wasn't really all that tall, but what struck me is how broad in the chest, probably 4 feet across in the chest. I couldn't even compare it to a bodybuilder because I've never seen anything like it. And it had dark fur, long arms that hung down to the knees, and it was hunched over, and it was kind of swinging its arms as it walked. Shortly after that one went by, I was still staring at my tent, the screen window there, and I was laying down on my cot. I saw just the legs of a Bigfoot. It's kind of like that Star Wars Chewbacca, I think, real slender, straggly legs with fur on them. My tent is 5 foot tall, so I imagine that one was pretty tall because the legs went up there. I just saw the legs about to where the hip, And basically, yeah, it was 4 nights of terror.
What were you doing when you first actually put eyes on these creatures? Was it nighttime? Were you guys?
Yeah, it was nighttime, and it was like 3:00 in the morning, But I feel like they were watching me the whole time. I mean, there was a couple nights where we sat around a campfire and we told stories, and I just feel like they singled me out, basically.
You said there was 10 tents there, 10 different tents there?
Yeah, there was 4 of them that were up to the tree line there. And then there was a couple others that were scattered out in the campsite, but the 4 were close together.
They were just having a heyday with you guys then, huh?
Yeah. Well, that blew my mind when I saw 2 of them. Basically, I was thinking maybe bears, there were signs, be careful, bears in the area. So we took all our food and snacks and put them in our vehicles, Never in my wildest dream would I have thought that I seen not 1, but 2.
So you were in your tent and they walked by, and that's how you saw them, like out your tent window? Yes,
the screened-in tent window.
And then the first one that went by, did you happen to get a look at his face at all, or
it was a kind of a side profile. Like I said, it was ape looking.
Yeah, you said he looked like an ape.
Yeah, big. Huge. I couldn't get over how broad it was. I would say 4 feet broad in the back, because I saw kind of from the side, you can see the back, in the legs, and just really muscular, if you would. the legs and the arms, long arms down past to the knees because I was walking it. Its hands were down by its knees. Definitely an ape-looking creature.
Did you notice any kind of smell when they went by you?
You know, I did not. I didn't notice a smell at all. And I've asked some of my Bigfoot friends, is that normal? And I have a friend that goes out Bigfoot expeditions. He goes out on trails and stuff. And he said he doesn't smell them either. So I don't know if they use that scent around the dangerous people, and then the ones that they feel safe around, they just don't have that scent. I don't know what the relationship there is.
Well, they probably didn't see you as a threat. So,
Yeah.
no need to try and drive you away. So
Right. Yeah.
When you guys decided to go camping, your group, you say it was your
Yes.
group or for some friends or family or what was it?
Oh, Bigfoot enthusiasts.
Okay, so you guys were going out there planning on hoping to have some interaction with Bigfoot, right? That was your goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't like you were taken off guard and well, you probably still were,
Well,
but
yeah, I was, but I guess what's drove me crazy is how close they came in. They, I know I've heard that they travel in a clan, and I saw two different looking ones. And so I think they came in to the campsite while we were all asleep, except I'm a night owl. I stay up late, and decided to pester me.
yeah, for them to come that close and be like that, they're obviously were being pretty brave. They probably thought most or all of you didn't realize they were out there.
Well,
I'm guessing.
here's the thing. I think with these, I think they can sense or tell who gentle-natured people are, and maybe that's why they didn't have any scent to them. I don't know.
yeah, I think so too. I think they get a sense of who's dangerous and who isn't.
Yeah.
Before you went out there, Janice, did you believe in Bigfoot?
Yes.
Okay. And how long ago did you start believing in Bigfoot?
I think I started going to the Nebraska Bigfoot conference. I think it was 2017, I believe. So I've been going for a while. But, you really don't expect to see one, even though, you go on these hikes and you go on a camp out. You don't really, you know what I mean? You're just you're curious and you're interested. And I don't know. It's mind-blowing.
So did you guys go out during the day or even at nighttime down the trails looking?
Yeah, we did. We, by our campsite, there was a trail, and we went out through the aspens. There's lots of aspen trees. And on the trail, we walked off the trail a little bit there, and there was an elk, and there was just pieces of the leg of the elk and one ear. And so that, to me, is like a kill site. Normally, I think animals will drag stuff like that off, but that was just, like something set down and ate. And yeah, it's something weird we saw. I don't know. They in the Bigfoot world, they talk about kill sites and where you can see bones piled up. I don't know the nature of animals, but I've heard it called that before.
Is that what it was, or did you just see the couple body parts?
I just saw a couple parts of the elk. Yeah. I'll just call it that because I can't really determine what it was. But yeah, I think it was the last night when I heard there must have been a very heavy Bigfoot that came in. I mean, when he was walking the ground, I could feel the grass crunching into the ground. It was like something overwhelmingly heavy. I didn't bother to look out. You got to remember, I'm in my tent by myself, and my heart's pounding pretty hard, and I'm sweating. He probably smelled me.
Did anyone else say that they saw the creatures?
They didn't. And I have a hard time understanding that nobody. Now, mind you, that they went by these tents that we were in, and the other tents were elsewhere in the campsite. But two guys. Okay, this father and his two boys. They were in their 20s. The boys. One night, and we watched it. There was something running through the grass back and forth, and someone said, well, maybe it's juveniles. And I said, I don't know what it is, but it kept going back and forth in the tall weeds. And the man from Kentucky and his two boys, they kind of stood there and watched. You could see the grass moving, but you couldn't see anything.
Was this a laid out campsite, or were you just out hiking and found area? And
we found this. We had this all planned out as a group. We each paid. Okay, so it was like, one basic fee, and then everybody paid so much to camp. They called it a family campground. Actually, it was let's name it Meadows Family Campground, something like that. And there are other campgrounds around the area too. But right behind the tree line, there was a real small stream of water. So, and I've taken pictures of tree structures, and definitely there's something coming through there. Found a footprint that looks rather unusual.
What do you mean unusual?
Well, it's three-toed, and it looks like toes, except that the toes are splayed. They're kind of side, kind of flattened down. Like we wear shoes and our toes, are formed. And these are just like bent down, like strange. But I heard they can be anywhere from 5 toes to 3 toes. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly like the prints they pulled from the Falk Monster area, I believe.
Oh.
And also we talked to a guy who is in Ohio, David.
And they were 3-toed?
I think he's got a print or two that have some 3 toes.
Yeah,
down there.
I can send it to you because I found it, and then everybody's taking pictures of it. We were just everybody was like... Yeah,
send that to us.
Yeah, I will.
Also, a 3-toed one down in Louisiana.
Yeah, and they're toed. They look like toes. My guess would be a juvenile. I don't know, but they're splayed, like I said, kind of bent over.
Yeah, they almost like go down into the ground, right?
Yeah,
they kind
of. Yeah, they're definitely some pretty good prints, and this was kind of a soft dirt area. It was right around. Interesting. It was around a campfire ring, not our campfire, but one of the campfire rings that was in the campsite.
See, interesting enough, we've got you in Colorado finding these same type prints that people in Ohio are finding, and other places for that matter. It's not your typical 5-toe, big 16, 18-inch Bigfoot print. These things are reptilian looking, or I don't know. I know exactly what you're talking about, and when you send us the picture, I know that I'm sure it'll be what we know you're talking about. So that in itself brings up a lot of questions. First of all, is that still a Bigfoot? Is it a?
Well, yeah, that could be. I don't know what that was, but I thought, God, this is interesting. I've never seen anything in my life like. And you could just tell it was unusual. I'll send you a picture of that because it was in dirt, and you could perfectly see the 3 toes. Now you might be able to see a 4th one. I don't know, but I can't see a 4th one.
No, I think they only have the 3, and I kind of wonder sometimes if that's not due to inbreeding or something like that with these creatures.
Yeah, it very well could be. That's true.
Because when they have found those 3 toes, they have related them to Bigfoot in the area. So I'm wondering, why do some Bigfoot have normal 5 toes?
I talked to a friend of mine, and he said he has seen 4 different types of Bigfoots. When I say like 4 different types, I mean the ape, the gorilla-looking one, if you would. Then the ones on the Planet of the Apes, like little monkeys. I can't remember what he said the other 2 look like, but he said he saw 4 different types at different times, in Colorado.
There's kind of a chimpanzee-looking one. We were talking to a person the other day, and they had seen something that looked like the Sykesville monster. If you've ever seen a picture of that creature,
I have.
If you haven't, got to look that up. It's more of I want to say a chimp kind of
chimpanzee,
looking, not an ape kind of looking Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yep.
If there's such a thing. So it almost makes me wonder, Janice, if there's not all kinds of different little branches of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That are different variations. Like, you've got the skunk apes down in Florida. Maybe they're an orangutan version. And maybe you've got you heard of these googwees or whatever. Maybe those are the the baboon version.
Oh.
Maybe you've got this chimpanzee version. Maybe you've got this gorilla version. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, forget the human looking ones.
And the human looking ones too.
Yeah, except they have the dark. Yeah, that's crazy. They have their eyes are in the same place ours, and their nose and their mouth just has all this hair. I mean, I suppose when you don't wear clothes, your hair grows out like that. I don't know.
This depends on the person, I guess.
You heard of Melba Ketchum?
Yep.
Yeah, she claims that the Bigfoot have one DNA of a human in them.
I believe that.
Yeah.
She's not the only one that's found that.
Yeah. And because the eyes are the same place, the nose, mouth, and they have ears, it's just then they have all this hair, and they're really broad. That's all I can say.
It's like I said, I think there's so many different variations of a 2-arm, 2-leg, bipedal, with a head, eyes, nose, ears, mouth creature out there, from us to these strange whatever people are seeing Bigfoot variations.
It's interesting that like this first one I saw was like ape, and then the second one that came by, I saw just the legs, so it was probably a tall, lanky one would be in the same group,
I mean, you got to kind of look at it like, you have white people, you have Asian people, you have Hispanics, blacks, so maybe that's how the Bigfoot are too. And
maybe within the same family, there's one that's real tall, and maybe
he was the mailman's kid.
Oh, I'm just thinking how damn tall that Bigfoot was. If I just saw his legs and the top of my tent, I thought, dang, I'm like 5 foot here if I stand up. Your trunk is pretty much half of your body. So that thing could have been 10 foot tall. I don't know.
Could have been.
Wasn't going outside to look.
So have you been back to that area since then?
No, I had a lady ask me if I would camp there again. I said, I'll never camp in the tent alone. I haven't. It's too overwhelming. And there are tree structures around, so you can tell they're in the area.
Have you just gotten out, just gone hiking and just looking?
Yes.
For like a day trip?
Yes, I have.
Cool.
There's a lot. I know a lady that lives in she lives out in the rural area. She lives in a log house, and she's got lots of structures all around there. Tree breaks, lots of them. And when we were walking around, she said, listen, there was me and her and there was a guy that was with us, and we could hear the Bigfoot screams or cries. I don't know what you call them, but you could hear them.
So I wonder how did you guys pick that place? Did you know there was a Bigfoot activity in?
No, we just picked it because, it was where you could set up your tents and stuff. If you want to check it out, I encourage you to camp there.
Yeah, Colorado, here we come, right?
Yeah.
Colorado. I want to go to Colorado. That's one of the places I want to get to.
Bailey.
Okay.
Colorado.
Make sure you're up 10,000 feet, because they are high country animals. They don't go down, But Bailey, Colorado is just interesting place.
So do you do want to see another one, Janice?
Not outside my tent. If I see one, 50 yards away or 100 yards,
Mm-hmm.
I want some a safe feeling in between there.
Gotcha.
Because yeah,
sure,
that's what most
Everybody
people
would
say.
want
Yeah, most people do say that.
Yeah, a lot of people say just in the car, driving down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Heaven forbid if you ever hit one.
Yeah.
So what would you tell somebody, Janice? What would you tell somebody who said that they didn't believe in Bigfoot and Bigfoot's not real? What would you say to them?
Well, until it happens to you, when it happens to you, you will believe. Because it's not like a ghost, it's how do you say it? It's reality. I saw it, I was there, I saw it. But I don't think that they show themselves to just anybody. I think it's when you're not looking for them, they come and look for you. Like in the night time, they came by my tent. I'm like thinking, okay, they're going to trip anytime now. And my tent's going down. Yeah.
Come crashing through your tent.
No kids like, oh, God. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but for your group to go out and be there purposely looking for Bigfoot and to have that activity and have them come into your campground, that's amazing.
Well, and I was really discouraged because when I was telling the rest of the campers about it, they didn't believe me. I mean, here we're all Bigfoot, people and stuff. You don't believe it until it happens to you. Then it becomes a reality. That's all I can describe it and I think they choose, the night that the one came by and was unzipping my tent zipper, I zipped it up. It was like 9 inches down. And I yelled, no. And it's like, nobody came over to see if I was okay.
They probably didn't want to get out of their tents either.
Yeah,
they're not going over there.
I know for a fact this one guy, he wouldn't go out. He had a tin can that he was relieving himself in. It's like, okay, you're scared.
Yeah, wow.
Smart.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. But he went over.
Did seeing the Bigfoot make you look at the world differently?
Definitely. Yes. It was a real eye-opener. I mean, I heard stories, but it doesn't become real until you see it. It opens your mind. And non-believers, my friend, her husband didn't believe in Bigfoot, and now he does because she had a sighting. The Bigfoot was looking over a great big huge rock, and she's got spot on a picture that you can't deny it. If you pull the picture, you can see it behind the rock. So, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. It'd be cool if
Yeah.
you could get a copy of that.
And if you, if you go down to Bailey, Colorado in the Bigfoot Museum down there, she has a section of the picture that she has, and there's a story.
Okay.
That's a really cool place to go. Yeah, go down there and
So it's a Bigfoot hotspot, so to speak. They've got a store there and everything, huh?
yeah, Bigfoot, all kinds of t-shirts you can buy, and
Cool.
then you can do what I did, go camping and get scared. No, I just, I was real interested, and I thought, why not? It's all in fun, right? Until you see something, and then it's like, well, I don't know if I really wanted to come here or not.
I was going to ask you, do you wish you could take it back and not have seen him?
For the fact I could sleep through the night, yeah. I mean, no, because it makes you stop and think there's more than just human beings, It's kind of like if you've seen a alien or something, you're aware that you're not the only one in this universe.
No, we're not.
Yeah, I was just looking on a map, and Bailey is right smack in the middle of nothing. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the habitat. They like it, so they can go out there and.
Awesome.
Yeah, look, you know what tree breaks are when they take the branch and bend it over, or actually break it.
Yep.
Oh, I've got gobs of pictures. I'll send you some pictures here around the area.
That's beautiful.
Okay. Yeah. It's an amazing experience, to say the least.
I could definitely see how they would be there.
Yeah. And there's a water source. There's, like in Nebraska, there's streams everywhere, and there's natural springs and stuff. So yeah, and there's plenty of animals to kill. I mean, they say there's bears up there, but I never saw any. I'm glad I didn't, but
yeah, I'm sure there's bears.
yeah. And there, there's water and stuff. There's plenty of, like I saw wild strawberries growing. Me and some others kind of went walking around. I seen plant. I'll send you some structure pictures. It's there's a.
Yeah, send us any picture you want to.
Okay. Yeah. Even that. You tell me what that 3-toed thing.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
Yeah, we definitely want to see that one.
Yeah, and they're splayed, kind of bent over.
If you go on, I'm not sure if you're on Facebook or not, but if you go on Facebook and you look for our group page, Cryptid Creatures, and just join our group page, and then you can go through our pictures and see, I think, where we posted some of those same footprints that you're talking about as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to see them, because I thought, nobody's going to want to see this. It's too weird.
Yeah, there's something different about that 3-toed one. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And I like you. It could be like inbreeding, because I know, like in dogs, if you do that, if you do it within family, their toes get funny.
Oh, okay. Well, makes sense then, doesn't it?
Yeah. Definitely. I got my money's worth at those 4 nights, 5 days.
Yeah, you
did. Well, you did a good job tonight. We appreciate you being on and telling your story and your encounter.
You're welcome.
Sounds like a awesome
believe it or not,
experience, and a scary experience at that.
Oh yeah. You guys go out there and camp out there and experience it for yourself.
I don't know about camping out, but we'll definitely get out there hiking.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I feel like they show that, or they come up to people that they feel, it's almost like, I don't know about mind reading, but they can tell that we're safe, or whatever. Because they'll have
I think they can pick up the vibe or whatever it is.
Yeah, your energy. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They can tell your intentions, good or bad.
Right.
Like most, wild animals, period, are the same way. they.
Oh, are they?
Oh yeah, dogs especially. Dogs know good people and bad people.
Yeah. Well, sure. That's true. That's true. Because that's true. Yeah, like 2 of my friends are just really laid back, and they both seen them. It's like my one friend, he was down. Well, Lake Wellington is interesting too down there. You go on a pathway. My friend saw one that was sitting down up by a tree, Lake Wellington. He was on this path. He was walking his dog. He saw one sitting up to the tree. It was 6 foot sitting down. And he said it was probably a 12-foot one.
We're hearing more and more lately of people seeing taller than 8 feet. Are we not, Brian?
Oh,
yeah.
And I want to sit there and say, well, maybe they're just so overwhelmed that they're kind of maybe exaggerating a little bit. But I don't know. I mean, these things could be getting that big.
No, they're
most of them had a reference to go back and measure. I mean,
Yeah, they do. They go back and my friends do that. They measure, they go up the tree. How tall do you think it was? And they'll measure it.
They're like, well, it was standing by this tree and it was by that branch. And then they
get up in that tree and they go, holy shit,
It makes you wonder how something that big can stay hidden.
I don't want something like that looking down on me, though. God. And my friend was scared. I said, didn't you just like run like hell down the sidewalk with your dog? And he goes, no, we just stood and stared at each other for a while. And they've got to be able to tell that you're a safe person. Otherwise, they would just get out of, the Bigfoot would leave.
Or something else would happen.
Make you leave. Yeah,
like I said, I had little pine cones thrown at the backside of my tent, and I thought, so I tried to make myself think, oh, it's probably raining, raindrops. It's just like, that can't be happening, You try to get it out of your head, but you can't because they like want you to know they're around. It's like, it's dark out. I'm not going out there.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Well, but it's all true. It's all true. And excuse me for laughing. It's just part of
it's fine.
It's all right.
We like that.
Yeah. People deal with it in different ways, so that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
We believe you for sure.
It's it's overwhelming. It's you got to go camping sometime and look for yourself. It'll happen.
I hope so.
Meanwhile, I'll send you those pictures of the broke. I have a little book that I collect tree structures and stuff. So from that experience, I'll send you pictures from that time period.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Janice.
Thanks, Janice. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Be safe when you go out there looking.
I'm probably not going back. Once is enough.
All right.
We'll see you.
Have a good night.
Okay.
Can you imagine if you were camping somewhere like they were for 4 nights and like on the first night you had experiences knowing that you still had 3 more nights to go? It'd be kind of frightful, Like if it happened the second night, the third night, and you're thinking, oh my God, I still got another night. It'd be a little terrifying
It'd be like, well, this is how it ends.
Yeah, maybe we're done camping right now. So I don't know. But that was really good. I'm glad we brought her on and heard her.
It was good. Yeah, Colorado is one of the states I want to go to.
Yeah, me too. We'll definitely check that out at some point. All right, you ready to bring Dewayne on and see the creepy thing that he saw on his way to work?
Yep, let's get him.
All right, here we go.
Dewayne, can you hear us?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
There you go. Now we got you. Sorry about that. Technological errors.
Oh, no problem. I fully understand.
We appreciate your patience and we appreciate you being on with us and recording today.
Okay, well, thank you.
You had sent us an email, I believe, not too long ago, that you had seen a very strange thing or some strange thing happened to you on the way to work. You live in Texas, that's correct?
Correct. I live in Spring, Texas. It's a northern suburb of Houston, about 20 minutes from downtown Houston if the traffic is good.
Okay. So why don't you tell us about your morning? Tell us what happened, how you got started, and what happened to you.
Okay, this was on a Tuesday morning, October 5th. It was right at about 7 o'clock that morning. We had had a really dry, hot summer, so this morning it was raining. This was the first significant rain that we had had all summer long, but it wasn't raining really hard. I mean, it was just enough to have the windshield wipers on. The road that I'm on, it's here in Houston, it's called the Grand Parkway, 99 Grand Parkway. And it's, I was at a very busy area of the highway getting ready to get on to 249. I was about 10 or 15 minutes away from work. This actually happened just south of the little town of Tomball. So it's at that time of the month, it was still fairly dark, but I mean, the sun was glowing, the sun was coming up, but it was raining. But I think the only reason that I saw this thing was because of all the lights and traffic in the area. So just driving along, all of a sudden I noticed something out of my left peripheral vision. It was kind of above me. I turned to my left and looked up a little, and what I saw so startled me that I literally jumped when I saw it. This object was about 25 feet up in the sky. I assume it was some sort of animal. I mean, I have no reference to what it was, but it was flying in the sky. Like I said, it was 25 feet up. So it was really close to me. It was about 4 to 5 feet long. It might have been closer to 4 feet, but I think it was about 4 feet long. Totally black. I mean, it stood out against the sky. It was so black. If I'd been on a country road, I don't think I would have seen it. It was so black. If you take a seal and remove his front flippers and his rear flippers, then this was kind of the shape of this thing. There were 2 protrusions coming out of its side about a third of the way back. Like if you look at a seal, the front flippers, that's where these protrusions were coming from. And they were spikes. They looked to be about a foot, maybe a foot and a half long. They were wider at the base where they attached to this creature, and they came out to a point. These spikes, they weren't moving, but what was moving is on this creature, it had these kind of like these fins that ran from the very tip of it down to the rear end of it. And they were like fins. I'm not sure if you've ever seen like a sea snail or a sea slug swimming in the ocean, how they kind of undulate. Maybe like a microscopic paramecium, the way the flagella, kind of quiver, from the top to the bottom of it. But that's how these fins on this thing were moving. And I assume that's how it was, getting through the sky, how it was flying through the sky. I didn't see anything like feathers or any other details of it. I didn't see any eyes or mouth or anything like that. It flew over, and I drove on, and it was just a very extremely brief encounter, just a couple of seconds. I drove on, went to work, immediately sat down and started sketching what I saw, and I came up with a sketch that I posted on your all's Facebook page. And since then, I've been thinking about it. There's not a day goes by that I don't think about it. I have that sketch on my refrigerator, and, I see that every day, and I have no clue what it was. I mean, I've always been interested in the supernatural and paranormal stuff, but I have no reference in my mental encyclopedia for this. I mean, it was something I've never heard anybody talk about or seen on any kind of show or anything like that. I mean, it was just this thing that looked like a seal with these spikes and these things, these fins on the side just flying over. And that was it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. We've never heard of that ever before either.
Right. Yeah, some guy posted on
wild.
Facebook. Some guy posted on Facebook that he asked me if it could have been a rod. And I'm not familiar. I'm not sure if you're familiar what a rod is. Some people, it's some sort of paranormal thing where they see these apparitions in a camera or on film, that look like, just rods and stuff like that. kind of into the same category as orbs and stuff. But I think that's just some sort of apparition or something that's anomaly that's inside the camera, or on the film. This wasn't. I mean, this thing it looked like some sort of creature. It had weight. It had, mass and everything. So it wasn't a rod, just a giant flying seal or something.
We've heard of the rods and the spheres and the lights, and we believe in those, but I don't think this was at all what you were seeing.
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, we've never heard of this before, and that's why I was so interested to talk to you and get you on to record about this.
Mm-hmm.
You think other people saw this thing?
I'm sure that somebody, behind me probably saw it because, like I said, it was relatively low, 20 to 25 feet up, and somebody behind me with his lights on, he was bound to have seen it.
And were you on I forget if you said, were you on a 2-lane road, 4-lane road?
No, the Grand Parkway, any place else in the country would be considered an interstate. It's just a giant loop that they're constructing around Houston. It's a 4-lane highway. It's a big major highway here in Houston.
So there was a lot of traffic around you, obviously.
Oh yeah, a lot of street lights, a lot of traffic, and it was a very busy area.
Is there any water on either side?
There possibly could be like some creeks and maybe some ponds, but I mean, they're neighborhoods and everything, very suburban area.
Wow.
You kind of described this thing. I'm kind of thinking of like a slug with the little wing all the way around its body that kind of, like something you'd see in the water, right? That
right.
uses to swim. This, like you said, the undulating, rolling edge of that flap of whatever that thing was that was propelling it. But, so you said it. You look up. It's 20, 25 feet away. Is it kind of just above your car window, or is it kind of out away from you? Is it more?
Yeah. Well, it's above me, just up to my left, just right over me. I mean, it's getting ready to fly right over me. And the encounter happened so quickly, just a couple of seconds that, it flew over me and I drove on and that was it. It shocked me so much that, what I was looking at that, like I said, I jumped. I mean, it was so shocking.
Sure.
We have a lot of big birds here in Texas. We have black vultures and we have a lot of seabirds that come in from the coast. And this looked nothing like a bird. I mean, the only resemblance this had to a bird was that it was in the sky flying.
Did it act like it kind of came down and maybe checked you out and then took off? Did it go up? Did it go straight?
No, it seemed like it was flying level. I mean, it was parallel with the road. It was, it was at an angle of the road. I mean, I was heading like east at the time and it was heading north, kind of northeast. I mean, it looked like it was just doing what it was, whatever those things do, on a normal day. It just passed over. I mean, like it popped out of its reality and popped into ours, and then it was gone.
That's almost kind of what I was thinking. Maybe this thing came out of a portal somewhere for a second.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I didn't see any other, when it came into my vision, my peripheral, I mean, that's the only thing that I saw was it. I didn't see any kind of portal opening or anything like that. I mean, it just flew over me and that was the end of it.
You said it was still dark out, kind of dark out?
Yeah, this was 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we still, it wasn't as dark as it is now. And it was cloudy and rainy, but there was a glow in the sky, of course, from the street lights and everything. So I guess that's the only reason I saw it was the reflection of all the lights and everything, because this thing was so black that it really stood out against the lightness of the sky.
Yeah, there's nothing that is the size of a seal, that's shaped like a seal, that doesn't have wings that I know of that flies.
Right.
Yeah. Not on this planet.
Nope.
So that's very interesting. I wonder if it's alien related. It's got to be, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Could very well be.
What do you...
I don't know.
So when you got to work, did you tell anybody what you saw?
No, I told no one. I mean, the only people I posted on your all's Facebook page, that's the only people that know anything about it.
Yeah, will you do me a favor before I forget? At some point, send us that picture. Text me that picture again, or message me that picture again, so I have it. I'm not sure what feed that was on. It'd take me forever to find it if I tried to look.
Okay, all right.
But I want to post it out there when we post this episode. There's got to be someone else that saw this thing. There's got to be someone else. That saw, you know.
That's what I'm thinking too. You know, because
or something like
you know. Yeah, it was 7:00 in the morning, and traffic is horrible here in Houston at all times, but particularly at that time of the day. So lots of traffic on both sides of the highway. So I'm sure somebody saw something fly over, but it wasn't a bird.
Yeah, and it couldn't have been a drone or anything like that, right? I mean, no one's going to be flying a drone that time of morning in the dark necessarily trying to, I mean, maybe they would try, but why would it be shaped like that? And how would it, there was no there were no propellers on it, right? There was no.
I mean, it's like you said, it's almost like it would be something that would be swimming in the ocean, and not flying in the sky.
Yeah, as we're hearing more and more encounters with different things, I'm wondering if portals aren't opening up and things aren't just coming through, as weird as that sounds. But that's what it accumulates to, honestly.
That's what it seems like lately with everything that's been going on.
It really, takes a punch to your reality. It just like I said, I've been interested in paranormal stuff all of my life. And, had this been a Bigfoot or a UFO or something like that, I would have had reference to it, I guess. But this I don't.
Yeah, this is a new one. This is a new one for everybody, I believe.
Yeah, for sure. At least for us.
Yeah. No, we never know. We play this episode. Someone might come forward and say, you know what? I saw that same thing. I saw that same thing here. Or I saw the same thing.
Yeah, because that's the hope for every episode that we do, that more people will come on and corroborate. So hopefully the same thing will happen this one.
Hopefully, yes.
So the next day on your way to work, were you just kind of like freaking out?
Every time I go out at night, I'm looking up in the sky thinking that I'm going to see this thing again, take the dog for a walk at night. And it's a little unnerving, just a normal, regular guy here in Texas, and you see something like this and it just kind of does a number for your reality thing,
Yeah. It's unnerving for us to hear that you guys are seeing stuff like that out there, especially close to a big city like Houston,
Mm-hmm.
You'd think something like that, you'd hear somebody saying, well, I was way out in the county road, whatever, and, way out in the country, and I was up in the mountains, but that thing's obviously not shy, not scared to be around things. I mean, it just swooped kind of right down there in traffic and said, hey, and doing its thing, whatever that is. That's just so strange.
Mm-hmm.
No head, no eyes, no mouth on this thing, though, you said.
No, I didn't see any other details of it, other than those spikes and those appendages on both sides of it. No eyes, no mouth.
Or maybe it was a drone, just not a human drone. Maybe it was an alien.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a probe or something sent by the aliens to investigate, to keep an eye on things, to see what's going on. I don't know.
You're saying maybe it was a drone, but maybe it was a creature type drone, like a humanoid drone or something that was flesh and blood,
some kind of alien.
It's very well. Like we would use an eagle with a camera on it or something like that, maybe.
Mm-hmm. One of their drones.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Wow. Is there any Air Force bases around there? I'm sure there are.
There's a small airport that's probably, 2 or 3 miles back that I had passed, but that's pretty much it.
I should say, are there any military bases around there?
No, that the closest one would be in San Antonio, I would think.
You always want to speculate, is the government doing some weird stuff? Are they trying to create some weird things? And you kind of want to hope that's what it is, maybe. And if it's not, what the heck is going on,
Right.
Some portals are opening up. Things are coming through. People are seeing more Bigfoot. People are seeing more dogmen, more different kind of things like this. Yeah, so strange. So strange. What do you think it is?
No clue. I have absolutely no clue. No reference in my mental encyclopedia for this.
Did you look anything up about it, or maybe try to see if anyone else online had mentioned anything about seeing the strange creature that you saw? Or
Yeah, somewhat. When the guy posted on Facebook about, asking if it was a rod, I did some research on rods, but I mean, this thing looked nothing like a rod. I mean, it looked like some living thing that was, I'm not saying that rods aren't living, but I mean, they look, to me, they look more mechanical, but this looked like something living, something that had weight and mass and was moving on its own.
I wonder what the spikes were for.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, those weren't moving. The only thing that, I don't know if they were like some sort of rudders or something.
They could have been
its
sensors.
wings.
They could have been
anything. Like an antenna. I don't know.
Sensors taking in atmosphere or whatever. Just checking things out.
Right.
I hate to sound like a doom and gloom kind of guy. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more weird stuff happening.
Possibly, yes.
Brian's into the world theory. We're going to, it could be true. You're right.
I'm telling you.
You're right.
It's happening right in front of our face.
And if it's not, I'm still cool to the fact that we're seeing these strange creatures. I mean, if they're coming out more and more, that means there might be more chance for people to see them.
I think we're going to start seeing more and more. Mm-hmm. The closer we get,
there's definitely a lot of weird things going on in the world these days. We have to admit that, right? We have to admit that. And more and more reports of sightings of creatures. This is a totally new and different one, and very strange for sure. Makes no sense, never heard of this thing before in my life. I don't think you guys haven't ever heard of this thing before in your life. Dewayne, you saw this thing. You think it was alien related? If you had to take a guess?
I mean, if I were to take a guess, I would think it was something from some portal, some other reality, not necessarily, But then you might say, well, aliens are from portals. Right, yeah.
Could be. We don't know. There's a lot we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, cave systems under the earth that go on forever. I mean, who knows what lives down there? Yeah,
you're right.
But I mean, this thing, it just didn't look aerodynamic enough to be flying, like a seal flying in the air.
That's wild.
You look for this thing probably every morning still, do you not, on the way to work?
Oh, yeah. I drive through that area. I don't go that way every day, but when I do, I'm looking in that area. And every time I go out at night, I'm looking up in the sky.
I mean, it could have just been a one chance thing where this thing, did come out of a portal for a second. Why, we don't know. And then went back in, and you may never, ever have that opportunity again. Probably won't. And especially in that area, we don't know. Or maybe there's a reason why it's coming out in that area. Still strange, very strange in itself that, I mean, I know that we're coming up and we're finding new species of, lizards maybe and some birds maybe here and there. And, it's like, we
primates,
and we're finding new species of things all over, but it's things that we're aware of, things that we're used to, not
right. And I think that if they sent a probe down into the ocean and they saw something like this, I mean, you'd be like, oh, that's odd, but it makes sense being in the ocean. But this thing being in the sky makes absolutely no sense.
You're 100% right. If I would see that in the ocean and someone said, we just discovered this species of swimming slug, I'd be like, oh, cool, yeah, okay, hey, yeah, there's new things being found. It wouldn't really throw me off kilter necessarily. But this, being in the air, I mean, what the Did it forget where it was for a second? I don't know. I mean,
right, yeah.
I mean, the fact that it was the size of a seal, that's pretty good size.
Yeah.
Craziness. Have you heard of any other strangeness going on around that area before, Dewayne?
Not really, no. Of course, I mean, I listen to other shows, and there are some parts of Texas that has some high strangeness stuff going on, but not really in this area.
Yeah, there are different parts of Texas, eastern Texas, a lot that I think that
Right.
there's a lot of Bigfoot encounters and stuff like that. Did you believe in Bigfoot? Do you believe in Bigfoot and all that stuff?
Oh yeah. I mean, I totally believe it's possible that they're out there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why this thing I wonder if it showed itself to you for a reason, or like I said, it was just kind of slipping into your dimension for a second, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, I don't believe in coincidences. I think everything happens for a reason, but I don't have a clue why this would happen to me, why I would see it.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know. I mean, I'm sure someone else had probably seen that thing in that area. If there's a way to get that out there. Besides the podcast, if there's a way to get that out there, what you saw, and maybe someone could step forward and say, "Hey, I saw that thing too," or Has it changed your perception on life or anything?
Well, I mean, like I said, I've always been interested in the supernatural and paranormal stuff, but yeah, I think about this quite a bit, what it was and how it could possibly be in the sky. I mean, am I crazy? Did I just see something that, a bird? But like I said, it looked nothing like a bird. We have, a lot of seabirds that fly through, and sometimes they look like pterodactyls, but this didn't even look like a pterodactyl.
Yeah, not even close.
The flying slug. I mean, that's just crazy.
Right.
Yeah, that's just weird.
You say it didn't make any noise that you could hear.
No, my car windows were rolled up, so I mean, there was no noise from it. I mean, had I been out on a country road, I probably, would have pulled over and looked at it. Got to see a closer view of it, but it was a major interstate, so I didn't want to pull over.
Right? Yeah, I don't know how you can keep your composure. You probably just I can imagine what was going through your head the moment it took off, and you're just driving like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Well, Dewayne, we thank you for coming on and telling us about that.
Okay. Well,
Awesome
I appreciate
encounter,
it,
man. That's
Yeah,
so
that is wild.
crazy.
I will send the drawing that I did of it. I mean, it's just a rough sketch,
That's okay.
but
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That'll
Okay.
work. We'll post it and we'll get it out there, and hopefully more people have seen something like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we thank you again, Dewayne.
Yeah, Dwayne,
well,
we
you're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time with me.
No problem. And you keep your eyes open out there, and you see that thing again, you let us know, man.
Oh, I
Or
will.
anything.
Most
Anything, because
definitely.
you got action in Texas down there too. So you let us know if you've seen anything.
Yeah.
Okay. I sure will.
All right. We'll
All right.
talk to
All
you
right,
later,
Dwayne,
bud.
we
See you.
appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. I don't know. I don't alien or what? What the heck do you think that thing was?
I would call it. I mean, I don't think it was a UFO. Well, it was a UFO of some kind, but I think it would be more kind of a drone thing.
Maybe.
Like a probe that they would send.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's weird to me.
I just keep thinking about portals and things entering and showing up for short periods of time and then leaving, going out of this portal thing. I don't know. I really don't. That would explain it if there was portals out there that creatures like Bigfoot, Dogman, this thing could just pop in and out of and check things out for a minute and then leave. That would totally explain it, wouldn't it?
There might be. Yeah,
As
we don't
crazy
know.
as that is, and it sounds. I don't know,
Pacific
man.
Northwest is beautiful, so
The more and more
I'd be
things we
visiting
do-
there too if I was a Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, it's good having Janice and Dewayne on and having that
Yep, yep.
double header. So,
That was awesome.
yeah, we
always
appreciate you
fun.
guys as always, and thank you so much for listening and being here on Brian's first show back. So,
Woo,
with
good
that,
times.
right on. With that, my friend, what do you say we call this one a night and get out of here?
Yep. See ya.